Okay, now hasn't the old Charlie thing been just breadcrumbs on breadcrumbs? You end up with dead man on campus after you've gone to Snake Eyes, the trailer on the VHS. I don't know many people have been looking at this, so I was going to make a video, but so many people have been making videos about this stuff. Uh, I will at some stage when it's all the dust has settled a bit and we can look back at it. But that's maybe in a few days because there's just more and more information. Even the spy game with Robert Redford, and of course this new event is Sandford that I did cover. The ford everywhere, and Sandy Ford is where the trails split in Wyoming, the Mormon Trail and the Oregon and Wyoming trails. So that's another interesting thing. Of course, in it all, there was Lincoln. And then this makes us think of Grimsby. Now, Grimsby is not a very famous place, except if you know the album Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And in 4 days, we have the anniversary of the release of that album. And I've seen a few Gematria guys and that breaking that apart a while back and saying how interesting that album is. And as we know with Elton John, a very interesting character. So I'm expecting something about Grimsby, something to do with Yellow Brick Road, something to do with Elton John, all in this little next while. So I thought I'd get in early. And this is the most dangerous town in Lincolnshire. You see that Lincoln bit, just like Lincoln Tyler. And as we can see, it is a very strange looking place here. Where graffiti going on. And they're talking about Kimmel here. And of course, Kimmel is a James. And there's been James Comey and Charlie James uh, and several other Jameses in the news all together, just the same as there's been so many Charlies. And Charlie and James and Elizabeth. And now we have Elizabeth Kirk in this new movie they're talking about. So funny enough, just in this thing on Grimsby, for some reason, it's a search on Grimsby, and Sacha Baron Cohen comes up with Kimmel. Now Grimsby's got to do with fish. It's a Danish or a Viking fisherman type idea. See, I see, haha. The brothers Grimsby, and we have Sacha Baron Cohen was in the 2016, a lady in green scene. A green scene. It's interesting in itself, isn't it? So yes, there's quite a bit to still uncover about Grimsby. But that football match the other day, and they won 7-1. There was that 71 attached to Grimsby. I thought that was pretty interesting. They beat the uh, Cheltenham Robins. They're the Grimsby Mariners, and they beat the Cheltenham Robins. And of course, Robin has been a huge thing in the media. And we have the Grimsby Bible Church. I'm never going to Grimsby again. Looks like the same guy from that other video, didn't it? Walking tall, let's walk. Walking around Grimsby. Yes, it's strange how it's on that album, you know. The album's all Wizard of Oz stuff and all different characters in the album, but Grimsby's the only town I can think of other than Jamaica being a place. And we've covered the Jamaica jerk-off idea for the breeding. The Brothers Grimsby movie, so I'll be looking at in an upcoming video, that's for certain. Just going through the news and we see the Hamilton name here with Linda Hamilton. I noticed something about that Peter Thiel. I'm going to do a video on that, and he was standing in front of the word Hamilton. Never very far, the ham, the pig, that's for certain. Interesting flat top head we've got here with Robert Patrick. Another Robert too, another thing that they just have been belting out. The Pope, of course, being a Robert, and Charles Robert Redford. I'm just spinning through the news here. I got this new push for Princess Martha. I love the Martha and the Louis. To lose the royal title as embattled Norwegian monarchy gets public boost. Yes, they're rallying around the king, they're saying, and Marius, there's this Mary bit everywhere. The Borg, Hoiby. But 7 out of 10 people want her to be stripped of the royal title. Now, this is Beatrice and Eugene and Sarah, of course, have been under fire too. So it seems a big thing at the moment, stripping down the monarchies, lightening them up. And they're too top heavy. And the husband is Shaman Durik Verret. Rebel Royals, an unlikely love story. And scandals. So that's an interesting thing I'll have to look at in upcoming videos. But let's get back to Grimsby. Yes, Grimsby Town 7-1 on Cheltenham Town. Professional Grimsby. They put 7 past Cheltenham. Cheltenham, another ham. Now, I found a good picture of Elton John to do with Grimsby. And this was the jerseys you see. 9 and age 1-1. Walls and Bridges. Interesting song on this album called Steel and Glass. Now, this is a very strange looking picture. If you see, this guy's got the same thing as the John Lennon. But it doesn't look like he belongs here, does it? This looks like a poster in the background and just Elton and this guy standing there somewhat. But yes, at Blundell Park. And look, Melanie On. That's a very interesting name, isn't it? Melanie is On, the Grimsby MP. Yes, no, sorry folks, it's Grimsby actually is not on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road so much as it's on Caribou. But similar years, same year as Walls and Bridges, 1974. The long pants, the high waisty, but very short arms there on Elton. Recorded at Caribou Ranch, which is Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys studio, I might add. And then the Leopard. Now, they're saying this song has something to do with prophecy ideas because he was dreaming in his bed and he heard the trawler boats returning on the tide. And since the common market, they shut this town down. And there's been hope since the end of Brexit that it'll all open up again, but apparently it hasn't so far. But when you go down here in these things, the magic charm. But interesting comment in the questions and answers. This guy here, Torty 40, it's not about the seaport, well, not only about the seaport Grimsby, but it's mainly about the partition of India, the Great Divide. And Grimsby and the link to India. How interesting is that, eh? The Great Divide. In 47, just like the Trump presidency idea. Now, with Erica, of course, Erica Kirk, there's big talk about her grandfather being in the Masonic Vikings idea and links with the King of Sweden. And yeah, the Viking fisherman, the Grim Reaper, and Lay of Havelock the Dane. So some interesting things about this town indeed. Very interesting. And this Viking fisherman idea, of course, the fish relating to the Christianity a lot. And that's what we have with Charlie Kirk, don't we? And then he's got his little Eric as a Viking. And of course, this links to the Craven dynasty. All these Olaf the Black and Harkon the Great and Eric the Red. all said to be linked to Don Trump. There's been a lot to do with Woden in this story, of course, and the Wednesday movie coming out. Notice a grim can also be a mask, or the Grimmy the Masked One. And they're saying that taking the fisherman Grim to be Odin in disguise. So we can see when Elton John writes a song, there's a lot more behind the song than one appears. And listed in a Doomsday Book. A priest, a mill, and a ferry. And related to King John here. It's in this saga here, so it's quite interesting place in their little histories. Over the Seagull Swamp. A nice little bit of poetry from the Orkney. That was where they all got together on a 22/7, I think back in 2007, I think it may have been. I did a video on that all that time ago, saying it must be the start of a special era. And here we have a Carl, another Charles. Yes, and Mary's and James been very big, and that's the two parish churches, St Mary's and James, and the Lincoln bit mentioned here again. Edmund de Grimsby, judge in Ireland. And yes, finally for this video, because I am going to look at all this stuff to do with the movie there, Snake Eyes. And in that movie, the assailant guy is Tariq Rabbi, or Rabat, which people have been pointing out, like the rabbit from Donnie Darko. But he who knocks at the door, so remind me a bit of the Tyler, because the Tyler defends the door. And certainly the TR, the same initials. But it symbolises guidance, illumination, and hope. To strike or to come at night. So Tarak Rabbi. And then there's this new movie that said, so interesting, isn't it? Elizabeth Kirk in the movie Head of State. Yes, it's John Cena business. I've been talking about him all year, and there he is. He happens to be in this movie, Heads of State. Can you believe it? And Idris Elba. Now, he was in something a few years ago they were talking about that. Reminds me of the eye, the iris. And Big Ben, and a lot of fires going on here. The tipping point, a bit like Turning Point, isn't it? The fifth tunnel. Heads of State. Yes, here's the players for Head of State, and we have Carla, like Charles, Gugino, double G. And look what the name is here, eh? Elizabeth. Kirk. Right there. And look, it's Comey nearly. Marty Comey. Played by Jack Quaid. Interesting actress, this one. Looking pretty young there. Must have been very young in that movie. Italian English. And Paradise, California. Paradise, California, eh? Of all places. Yes, and this one here, born in 71. So another 71 idea going along with this one. And certainly started very young in the films here. Troop Beverly Hills, This Boy's Life, Son-in-Law, and Snake Eyes. Spy Kids, Night at the Museum, I remember that. Race to Witch Mountain, that's an interesting one. Sucker Punch, Mr. Pop Pop Popper's Penguins, and Lisa Frankenstein. I haven't got the new one, but San Andreas, which they're talking a lot about too. This one really needs a look at, and this one here, look at the fall of House of Asher. Born in Florida, and Paradise, California. I lived in a TV. Very interesting indeed. All right, well, I'm going to look a little bit more at this particular actress because she's really been thrown in the spotlight. Half brother is Carl Jr., so they're big on the Charles, that's for sure. A lot of TV work here. Alf even, and Falcon Crest going back. So she's been in it a long time, that's for certain. And now in this latest movie, Head of State. All right, thanks very much, folks. I thought you might find some of this interesting, and certainly we'll delve a little bit further soon. A dog going off. Stop it. All right, cheers.